Hey there. How's everybody doing? Thanks for joining in. Thanks for tuning in. This is Workout Wednesday solution to the very first Workout Wednesday challenge ever. That's right. We're going all the way back to 2017, week one, when Andy Kriebel and Emma White started Workout Wednesday. And we are going to be working our way through all of the challenges for Workout Wednesday. So, keep it locked in here. Be sure to subscribe, like this video, drop a comment so that you can never miss another video that I post. So the backlog of challenges. So if you're a frequent visitor, you know that every single Friday, just about every single Friday at 10 a.m. Central Time, I do a live stream of the current Workout Wednesday challenges. So definitely like and subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications so that you can know when I go live. Those are for current and ongoing challenges, but as you can see, I'm starting at the very beginning and I'm working my way all the way up. So these videos will not be live streamed, they'll just be recorded and posted like a normal video. So that's what we're going to be doing. So let's go ahead and jump right into it and take a look at what we're dealing with here. So here we are. This is Workout Wednesday 2017, week number one, and it is good stuff. So we're going to be dealing with table calculations. So what we're doing is basically looking at year-over-year purchase frequencies. So again, this is challenged by Andy Kriebel. And you can see here we've got a running sum of the percent of total orders over day of the year. And we can see that we're looking at basically when did we reach 50% of our total orders for the year. And then we've got a bunch of different filters here that we can drill into. So that's what we're going to be doing. So let's go ahead and jump right in. What do you say? All right, so here I am in Superstore. I'm just going to use the Superstore data source because it's easiest. So we don't need to worry about the dates. We can get everything else right. So what we're going to do, I'm always, before I start anything, because I'm building to this view, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that all my filters and parameters are set up. So that's what we'll do first. So we've got year, we've got region, oh yeah, all, and location region, and we've got customer segments. And we've got a subcategory on label. So we'll default all of that. We're going to have to create a parameter called target, which I've already started here. It's a target. So here's the thing with parameters. So you can see here what you have to do when you go in here is you have to enter the percentage as a decimal. Which, you know, you can't just add 50 because that ends up being like 50,000, 5,000%, and that doesn't look right. So you have to enter it as a decimal place. That's totally fine if you want to do that. I don't like to make my end users remember that decimal place. I just want them to be able to put in the, I just want them to put in the number, change it to a percent, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to format my data type as an integer. I'm going to have it display, so I'm going to default it at 50. And then I'm just going to change the number format to a custom number to 0 decimal places. And then I'm going to add the percent sign suffix for that. And then I'll do it as a list from 1 to 100. So you can input anything in here, any whole number, whole percent in there. We'll click OK. So now the next thing that I need to do is I need to convert this number as an integer into an actual percentage so that when we do all of our calculations, everything looks right. So we need to do, this is the target ref. It's the reference to the target, right? So this is going to be our target divided by 100. Pretty simple and straightforward there. So now what I need to do is I need to have a run. I'm going to go ahead. So we've got all of our parameters set. So now what I need to do is create this cumulative percent of total orders. And that's going to be, so this is percent of total orders. And this is going to be a running sum of count distinct of order ID divided by the total count distinct of order ID. All right. So that's going to be a default calculation. I do know that I'm always going to be doing this by, actually I need to get out of this. Actually, I think I could do it from here. Yep, we'll leave it like that. Next thing that I need to do is, so we'll click OK here. Next thing we're going to do is create a calculated field, and this is going to be day of year. And what we're going to do is it's just going to be the date part. This and it's actually day of year. So this may be a new date part that you've never used before, but it can be pretty handy in times like this. So we want the day of year of what date? Our order date right there. Click OK. All right. So now I actually want this to be a dimension because I'm going to need to be able to use it in my table calculations. So I'll convert it to a continuous dimension. So here we've got every single order. We've got the day of the year. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my percent of total percent of total orders. All right. And I'm actually going to go in here and edit this. And I'm going to compute using the day of year. So now I don't need to worry about what year or day or anything like that is, right? Or how my table calc is computing whenever I drag it into the view. It's always going to calculate based on day of the year. So I've got a single line here. I actually want one by year. So I'll take my order date and drag year onto detail. And now you can see I've got one line per year of the cumulative percent of orders. While we're here, while I'm thinking about it, I'll go ahead and change my default number format to a percentage, no decimal places, just like that. So we are very, very close, right? We've got a lot of it already there. But now what we need to do is we need to figure out how to get these dots, how to get these indicators here, right? So basically what we want is we want the minimum. We want the very first date where this cumulative number is above whatever our reference line here. So it's above 50% here, right? But we know I can add my parameter here, and I'm going to change this to a type in, and then you can just, if we do it here, it's not doing anything right now. So let's go ahead and add that. Let's add a reference line just to make sure that that's working. I'll add it. My value is going to be the target line. I'm going to add the value there. And, oh, not target, right? Like you can see it's already wrong, right? And so what it actually needs to be is I need to take my target reference and drag it onto detail. Now I can edit my reference line and do it on my target ref there. There we go, 15%. We're going to show the value. We're going to show a line. I think we do want the line to be black, but more opacity. There we go. Click. We don't want to recalculate. Next thing, while I'm thinking about it, we'll go ahead and format this thing to a percentage, no decimal places, just like that. All right, so now we know. All right, so now what we need to do, if we change this back to 50, is we want to know what is the first date after that reference line, right? So let's talk about this. So what we're going to do, essentially what we need to do is we need to take, we're going to basically create this logical statement. If the percent of total orders is greater than or equal to the target reference, then return the total percent of orders. All right? So let's see what this does first. I know it's not going to work, but we're gonna build this out piece by piece, and we're gonna show you how this is working. So this is we'll call this like, and what we actually, because we want it to be on the same scale, right? So it's first percentage above ref line. So before we make it a dual axis, let's just put it out here. Okay, so let's look at this, right? So we can see here that it's working because we have everything working up to this, right? We don't have anything below where that 50% is, right? So that's working. We know that that's working, but we don't want these extra lines here. We just want single dots on the very beginning of them. So how are we going to do that? I think what we need to do is we're going to, first above, we're going to do this a little bit differently, right? So what we actually want is we want the minimum. We want the window minimum, right? So if you think about table calculations and window functions, the window min, we want the minimum percentage, right? We don't want all of them. We just want the minimum one, right? So we'll do window min. And then we'll drag that out there. Okay, so let's look at this. Let's see what this is like. So if we do that, so what it did is it took our, if you think about reference lines, if you think about table calculations and window functions, what actually happens is it returns that value on every single row of the partition, right? And since we have this calculated at every single across, right? We're doing table across. We're compute using table across, our day of year. It's going to put that value on every single day of the year. And that's not what we want, right? We want just the one, right? But you can see how we're building this piece by piece to make it work. So let's go back up here, first above, right? So let's go back in here. And now what I'm going to do is, I think what we need to do is we'll do if that window min is equal to any one value of this, then return what? Then return just that, right? So do we see how this is working? Let's talk about it. So we say, so we know that these lines right here are the window min, right? It's the window minimum. It's the minimum for each year. It's the minimum percentage each year, but it's being calculated across each row, right? It's that value is being returned on every row in our partition. That's not what we want. We just want where it's equal to each other, right? So that's how this calculation is working. So let's click apply and see what happens. And now you can see we have 4 separate dots because those are the 4 values where they're equal. Right? So we'll also, while we're here, we will, I don't think I need this. Yeah, I do, because I need, no, I don't need it. I don't need it because it's already going to be on that one. Okay. All right, while I'm here, I'm going to change our mark type from a line to a circle just to make those bigger. There we go. That looks good. Again, we're not going crazy here. I'll get rid of my null indicator here because I understand that they're nulls, and that's okay, and that's what I expect. All right, now let's go ahead and make this a dual axis. Let's go ahead and synchronize. Okay, so there is our first date above whatever percentage. At or above. At or above, not just above, but at or above, right? That's why we have the equal sign. So we've synchronized. That means we can go ahead and remove our. Oh yeah, we want it that way. We don't need to see that header. Okay, so the first thing, Tableau. We always know this. Tableau does it by default. It's one of the natures of the beast of working with Tableau. Anytime you do a dual axis, Tableau will automatically add measure names to color. That's not what we want. So let's remove that. What we actually want, as you can see from what we're doing here, is we only want the max year. So we'll do year of order date equals max year of order date. Oh yeah, we need one more, right? We need one right there. And then Tableau says, "Hey, you can't mix those two together." So let's do adder. If this doesn't work, I know what we'll do. So this is going to create just a Boolean calculation. That's great. So we're going to call this line color. And we're going to drag this onto color. And you can see we have true, right? So that's not working. That's okay. So what we'll do is I think I need to change this to, we can just do this. And then we'll get rid of our adder. There we go. Click apply. Things break. That's all right. Because originally, why do they break? Because adder and max are an aggregate function. And so it was an aggregated text, or it was an aggregated measure down here. So whenever I changed it to a fixed level of detail, that changed it to a dimension. So that's why it got mad at us. So we'll do that. And there we go. Right? So now we have, this is 2023, 22, 21, and 20, right? So that's good. So we know that that's working. But what we're going to do now is we're going to sort. Well, let's change our colors first. So we know that true will be red and false will be kind of gray, right? It'll be kind of dithered, right? But we also want we want our red line to be on top. So we're going to change the Z order of our line color, right? So we're just going to flip that up there like that. And now you can see that my red line is on top of all of the other lines. So no matter what, that's what it'll do, right? And now we'll go ahead and clean up some formatting here. I don't want my row or column dividers. I don't need my column grid lines. Yeah, we do, because they're continuous measures. So that way you can kind of draw the eye up, right? What else? We don't need, but we don't also need, yeah. I don't know. You can kind of play around with this, right? We will remove our 0 lines. And then we'll add an axis ruler. There we go. But we'll drop the opacity down. There we go. Yeah, just like that. Okay? So there we go. Let's see. What else? We need to match the tooltips. Okay. There we go. So let's do that. So we'll do tooltip. We don't want line color. We want the, let's see what else. day of year, date, target. This is actually just going to be target. I can just call it target. Yep. And then we'll get rid of that. So the only thing that I'm missing. Okay, so we want target reference to also be a number format percentage at 0. There we go. So now what we need to do is we just need to have the attribute of order date. And then we'll go in there and then we'll do here. We'll just call this date. Whoop. What I'm going to do is just copy that, call this date, and then replace that with this, the attribute of order date. And nope, come on, adder, there it is. Get rid of day of the year. Click OK. Let's do % of total orders. No demand buttons, no categories. There we go. There we go. Put this fella on a dashboard, and we'll call this good. Don't need that. And then we'll show all of our, so we want year, we want region, and we want segment. And then we also want a subcategory. But that's really long, right? So we'll have this be a single value dropdown. There we go. And we'll call this product. Oop. No emoji. Product. And we'll just call this year. And then we can see here that it is 60, right? So there you go. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's see what else. We'll remove our title and we'll say, yeah, when did we reach 50% of orders? There we go. Actually, I think we'll just do it on the sheet title. Bring this over here. Wow, 2017. That is wow. That is truly wow. 01. And when did we reach? When did we reach parameter value in 2015? Yep, 2015 versus other, oops, come on, there we go, years. And then we'll do this as medium, as this red color versus this color. Okay, and there we go. So there it is. So hopefully you found that helpful and got to learn how to do some table calculations and how to isolate values within a line, individual values, whenever you're comparing to a reference line or a reference of anything, right? So learn a little bit about window functions. It's good fun. It's good stuff. Good skills to have. So thank you so much for watching. Please check out some of my other videos. As I mentioned, please like and subscribe. Hit the bell so that you don't miss another video, and we'll catch you in the next one. Go forth and viz.